As Red Cross certified sport medicine first responders and the leading therapists on the front line of concussion through field of play injury care, registered Ontario athletic therapists would be very interested in your sense of timing and nature of reliable on-field concussion assessment tools. So what are your thoughts based on research reviewed, conducted, or under development at Transcendent about the timing and expected nature of a rapid point of care test that could help ATs and other healthcare professionals identify a concussion on the field?
Yeah, so Dawn, I think as we kind of alluded to in some of the others, there's a few things that aren't shovel ready yet, but that are exciting. So I thought this would be a good chance to just make sure, let's get us all to the standard first. So I think the roles that the AT can do is not just in the suspected concussion, but making sure that the athletes all know, hey, don't sit quietly when you know that Timmy is telling you on the bench that he's got a headache.
Yeah.
Or if you, Jane, saw Maya have a horrible collision and get up really slowly, but the coach wasn't watching and the ref wasn't watching, but you were watching Maya because you're her best friend and you saw, even though the play has continued, those are things that I think it's all of our responsibility to do. You know, one of the hats I wore is I was part of a team that helped that Making Headway update training videos for all the coaching associations of Canada. And I think we all need to do this together. There's the coaching associations of coaches, the players, the parents, and then of course the athletic therapist, because who the coach going to grab the minute that this is a suspected
Yeah.
are you. And I think being transparent about how you approach your athletes is going to be really important. I'll give you just and it's not necessarily answering the question about the biomarkers because I don't know if there's so many yet, but just making sure everyone's aware of the concussion recognition tool 6.
As Red Cross certified sport medicine first responders and the leading therapists on the front line of concussion through field of play injury care, registered Ontario athletic therapists would be very interested in your sense of timing and nature of reliable on-field concussion assessment tools. So what are your thoughts based on research reviewed, conducted, or under development at Transcendent about the timing and expected nature of a rapid point of care test that could help ATs and other healthcare professionals identify a concussion on the field?
Yeah, so Dawn, I think as we kind of alluded to in some of the others, there's a few things that aren't shovel ready yet, but that are exciting. So I thought this would be a good chance to just make sure, let's get us all to the standard first. So I think the roles that the AT can do is not just in the suspected concussion, but making sure that the athletes all know, hey, don't sit quietly when you know that Timmy is telling you on the bench that he's got a headache.
Yeah.
Or if you, Jane, saw Maya have a horrible collision and get up really slowly, but the coach wasn't watching and the ref wasn't watching, but you were watching Maya because you're her best friend and you saw, even though the play has continued, that's such an important thing and it's everyone's responsibility. And that came out of the Amsterdam 6 concussion consensus. And that tool is such a great one to say, look, no one's asking you to diagnose it. All we're saying is suspect it. And if you suspect it, if in doubt, sit them out.
Mm-hmm.
I often tell my athletes that I see in the clinic, and I see some who are on the professional track, Olympian, future Olympians, and I will say to them, I'll pick Timmy, a fake name. I say, Timmy, look, you just had your concussion, and you're telling me you're fine, but here's the situation. There's 4 things that can happen if I say go back tomorrow and you were able to trick me by telling me you were fine and you're fine and fine. And I think there's enough subtle things that we can do on our visual vestibular, our eye tracking, those bombs. And that's what I'm going to talk about in a minute. I think there are some good physical exam tests in addition to the routine tests that probably even are more valuable than the blood-based biomarker, the fluid-based biomarker. But the caveat before I tell you what that is I say, Timmy, here are the 4 things that can happen. 1, you are fine. And you go back in that game and you don't get hit again and you score the game-winning goal and all is well. But what else can happen?
Mm-hmm.
You're so focused on not falling again that you are much more cautious, you do things much more slowly, and the guy you were guarding now scores 4 goals, and the times they pass you the puck to score, you didn't, and your team's like, man, Timmy, you suck. And your team lost the game because of you. Or you don't want to suck and you go so hard that your balance isn't quite off, or your eyes aren't really tracking properly, or you are distracted because of your headache, that you do fall. But maybe you don't hit your head, but you put out your arm, or you put your knee in the wrong place, and now you've got a broken forearm, or you need an ACL repair. You're going to be out way longer with an ACL repair than you are going to be by just getting this one fixed. And the fourth option is you fall and hit your head. None of those are good options. Or your balance is off and you collide someone else and you can actually hurt them. So none of these are good options. So get back. The Olympics aren't tomorrow. Your seasons are long. Let's do that. So what can athletic therapists do? I do think that there is a great video by one of my collaborators. Anyone can check it on YouTube. It's part of our guideline, but it's just a quick check. If you type in concussion physical exam, and Dr. Christina Masters has a great YouTube video on how to do a concussion physical exam. She is a sports medicine physician. She's part of our Transcendent research team. It's on the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia website, and it's also on YouTube. And she goes through on how to do not only the routine physical exam, but the smooth pursuits of the eyes, the rapid alternating movements of the eyes, the turning of the head called the vestibular ocular reflex. Often those will bring on symptoms on the sideline. That's going to be a clue better than any biomarker that they have a concussion. And furthermore, you have them not just do the best that's part of the old scats, but you have them do a dynamic gait with their eyes open and closed. And now you're walking forward on a, tightrope or balance beam. I say to the kids, okay, we're going to pretend we're all Simone Biles, and everyone's going to start walking forward with your eyes open. Now close your eyes. And suddenly that super athlete is swaying. Well, now there is one of the criteria of what's called the ACRM, American College of Rehabilitation Medicine criteria to diagnose a mild traumatic brain injury. And I was part of that team, and another Transcendent team member, Dr. Noah Silverberg, led that whole ACRM project. That is an objective physical exam finding, and that is, boom, they have a concussion. And so I think those are really things that we should be making sure everyone gets to that standard. And now what we're using the biomarkers for is they ace their eye movement, they ace their balance, they don't do this, but you know what? I'm still not sure. Then there's the role of adding these others.
Excellent. No, I think that's really, really important. Like, we have those skills and those tools that are already ready for us. So making sure everybody understands how to use them and implements them. And then, like you said, the prevention, having chats with your teams, with your coaches about the importance of recognition, coming out with no shame. If you think that maybe you've got a bit of something going on, it's better to be safe than end up having a concussion, right? So yeah, I think that's amazing.
And my last thought, since you mentioned prevention, we have so many people, I tell them it was Timmy version 1.0 that got us concussion. All of our work is getting back to Timmy version, then Timmy regressed. He went to version 0.7 or 0.5, and we got Timmy back to version 1.0. But version 1.0 was the Timmy that when he got the check into the boards, still got the concussion. What can we do to strengthen Timmy's neck, to do neuromuscular activation exercises before the injury, to improve his proprioception, to improve his spatial awareness, to improve his balance, such that in that game 6 months from now, he's not Timmy version 1.0, he's Timmy version 2.0, even better. And that's where we need to go to say, yeah, we got you back to what you were, but let's get you even better.
Even better. Yeah. No,
and that's where I think that athletic therapists can play such an important role of doing that, and figuring out why is this person keeping getting those injuries? Is it their neck's not strong enough, or their range of motion is not good enough, or their spatial awareness is off, or their balance isn't optimized? Those are the exciting things, are the future.
Amazing. This has been an amazing opportunity to chat with you, and can't thank you enough for all the work you're doing, and best of luck and everything.
My pleasure, Dawn, and it was nice to meet you, and I look forward to collaborating with Athletic Therapy Ontario in the future.